not even 2 seconds into WrestleMania 37 and I'm almost in tears. Look at that sight. It may have been only 1 year since we last saw fans in attendance for WWE, but it feels like it was forever. You know me, I'm going to get right into finding the sins of WrestleMania, but I just can't resist removing 15 sins here. It's so emotional to see fans in attendance again, even if it's a one-shot deal for now.
Vince McMahon!
That's strange. Y'all hate Vince McMahon. What gives here? Where are the intense booing? Where's the please retire chant? Where's the get replaced chant? I don't want to sound rude here because this is a great moment in WWE history, but there are a lot of wrestlers fully dressed in their wrestling gear, yet they're not even scheduled to compete tonight or tomorrow night. Being part of WrestleMania is understandable, but dressed ready to wrestle when you're clearly not going to? WWE, all fans in attendance are to be socially distant and staying in their arranged seating facilities. Also WWE, sit as close to each other as possible because shut up.
We would simply like to say thank you.
And we'd also like to ask why Sasha Banks raided Naomi's wardrobe for a match with Bianca Belair tonight. Alright, I gotta give WWE kudos for this design idea. Knowing this part of the stage was not going to be occupied with fans, instead of tarping it off, they chose to create an LED screen all over it to give Raymond James Stadium more life to the show. Nice job. Boy, Mother Nature really did a number on that WrestleMania pirate flag, didn't she?
The biggest event is back.
Announcer probably should have said that the fans are back because WrestleMania itself wasn't exactly cancelled last year, just had no fans in attendance.
History.
Did he just say history of history?
Hey, what did I tell you last year? You leave the sinning to me. Funny callback to the guy who started sinning the opening promo last year, but I feel offended. Fans may have left for a year, but I sure as hell didn't. I was only gone for 4 months.
I want to give this code open.
Damn it, I thought the Avengers killed Thanos already. Looks like Tony Stark's sacrifice was all for nothing here.
Once in a lifetime.
The fact that nearly 10 years later, WWE is still promoting The Rock vs. John Cena as once in a lifetime.
And even all of you who can't not watch on Peacock.
But the announcer is not talking about all those throughout the rest of the world who are actually not watching WrestleMania on Peacock. The fans in attendance and those watching on Peacock get the shout out, but the rest of us don't matter apparently.
But what about the big finish?
Wait, you mean we're not done yet? Holy crap, 5 minutes into this opening video package, and it's still going on. Now, obviously, we're getting put into a lightning delay, but we seriously couldn't have the opening pyrotechnics explode before we take shelter? It's not raining yet, and it's nice and dark. Also, it's unfortunately out of our control, but I put the sin counter back to 0 and out of the negatives for making us wait another 30 minutes before the actual WrestleMania show begins. I sin Mother Nature. So there, now we start from scratch.
But that's okay, I mean, you can...
Either the weather is doing this to Byron Saxton, or WWE is being a dick to him once again by messing with his microphone. Samoa Joe must have sensed his immediate future with WWE, hence why he suddenly looks so pissed off and let down.
They insisted Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre start tonight.
No, they didn't. If by WWE fans insisted, you mean the Sasha stans went crazy on social media and threatened pretty much everybody because they made this entire match about race and gender and called everyone who disagreed with it racist and sexist, then sure. Go ahead and say that we insisted that Drew and Bobby kick off the show.
I think you should pick on someone more your size.
The phrase pick on somebody your own size is mostly directed to those bullying smaller victims. In this case, the phrase should be altered to pick on somebody your own size for your own safety.
The time for talking is done.
Well, actually, we're currently on a lightning delay, so we have time to talk just a little longer. But go ahead, MVP.
The WWE Championship makes you a different person.
MVP is constantly yelling at Drew McIntyre that the time for talking is done, giving permission for a brawl to ensue, but instead he continues talking.
Where is your head out?
Where is your head out? What kind of a question is that? Where's Drew's head out? Hopefully out of somebody's ass. Wish I could say skip the damn pre-show panel, but unfortunately there is nothing to skip to. For the first time ever, I'm at a stalemate with this sin.
Where were you a year ago? I was there to see you guys reclaim.
Kofi Kingston asked Kevin Patrick where he was a year ago, the last time fans were in attendance for WWE events. Kevin ignores the question and starts talking about where he was when New Day won back the Raw Tag Team Championship.
So I don't even know if this match is going to happen.
Wait, so you mean to say that this Raw Tag Team Championship match is still not official for WrestleMania despite being official for the past 3 to 4 weeks? Just because AJ Styles and Omos might not technically be a tag team? The majority of the Raw Tag Team Champions since 2017 have been non-legitimate tag teams.
We are the best, and we want the cover.
Big E slowly rising like that with that scary look on his face was funny as hell. That was great. Here's a sin-off.
We might as well have the first rain delay.
I'll be honest, why are we calling this a rain delay when it's clearly not? The weather delay is because of lightning. Freaking lightning! Once the lightning threat passed, the fans were allowed to get to their seats and it was still raining outside.
WrestleMania.
Wah, wah.
We get to do it one more time.
Gosh darn it, Kevin Owens was cutting an excellent promo too. Who murdered the microphone frequency? CM Punk, I told you not to do that. Understandable that Michael Cole and Samoa Joe are wearing those rain ponchos, but isn't the roof placed above the ring the sole reason for these items to not be necessary for those at ringside? After all these years of outdoor WrestleMania events, the rain proves that the roof was useless against it.
We have all of our fans back.
Well, technically only 25,000 of them, not exactly all of our fans. And even then, those attending WrestleMania wouldn't simply be all of our fans.
WrestleMania, Mike!
Seth Rollins tried to be Chris Jericho when he confused Mike Rome and Tom Phillips apart. Doesn't work, sorry.
You got a chance, Kevin.
Mike!
Remember when I said this wasn't gonna work? Well, I apologize for that. The casual way Kevin reminds Seth what his name was, with Seth repeating Mike again, was funny.
Mr. WrestleMania!
Over at ringside, Michael Cole just got pissed off because Seth Rollins stole his personal nickname for WrestleMania.
I guess I'm standing by.
The audio technicians forgot to shut off the microphones of those at the pre-show panel before playing the video package for the WWE Championship match. Now I'm hearing too much.
It's King Corbin from SmackDown!
Let me ask something, and I know I'm not the only one who's ever asked, but what was the freaking point of bringing King Corbin into the mix here? He doesn't do anything to help this feud with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre, and doesn't even so much as accompany Bobby to the ring tonight.
Co-host of WrestleMania!
Man, I feel awkward saying this, but I actually forgot that Titus O'Neil and Hulk Hogan were the co-hosts of WrestleMania. Then again, the hosts never really do anything cool to help the show itself. Also, we just finished playing the video package for the WWE Championship match and the weather delay has successfully passed. And yet we're still not beginning the in-ring action. This may be the longest I've ever seen a wrestling event without the wrestling. The CGI graphics for WrestleMania 37 must still be in the rendering stage. No joke, I thought I was watching a tutorial on how to make CGI graphics the way it was being moved into position. The entrance of Drew McIntyre perfectly fits this moment. Feels great to be in front of an audience, and the fire matches the heat and intensity of the reaction.
Drew McIntyre, a few moments.
Even despite the wonderful feeling of performing in front of a crowd again, there sadly is nothing that can prevent Drew McIntyre's apparent hatred of the steel stairs that he spanks every week. WWE really did a good job nailing Bobby Lashley's entrance as the almighty WWE champion. No pun intended, an almighty entrance, well done. To this day, I still don't get why trending #1 in the United States is a better accomplishment than trending worldwide.
To become a Hall of Famer, you have to have held the championship.
To become a WWE Hall of Famer, you must win the WWE Championship in your career. I guess this makes the inductions of 90% of the WWE Hall of Famers null and void by that logic. Michael Cole is such a freaking idiot, and we haven't even started the first match yet.
WWE Champion.
The only reason Bobby Lashley is shocked at Drew McIntyre flipping him off with his arms is because he thought this was a PG show. Drew, careful, you'll get us in trouble with Vince.
Demonstrating it right now.
And now
To a
McIntyre.
T.
Even with a close-up shot of both competitors, I saw Bobby and Drew almost slip and fall during this moment. And here I thought the rain didn't hit this part of the ringside area.
McIntyre. Lashley wants to.
Leslie? Who in the hell is Bobby Lashley? Oh my lord, add that to the list of hilarious name mess-ups we've heard over the years.
Relies on the strength in the arms.
And so much.
Bobby Lashley has Drew McIntyre where he wants him. He's ready to perform additional damage to Drew. And the punishment he selects is a simple slap to the face that would do nothing except piss off Drew. Hey, Botch Guy, are we sure Bobby has escaped a confused problem recently?
It shows you a familiar style. And Bobby.
Well, that's what you get for bouncing in the other corner with your back completely turned on your opponent.
MVP.
Drew McIntyre has the extremely deadly Kimura lock on Bobby Lashley, yet the commentators completely ignore it. Likely because he's not Brock Lesnar. Doesn't take away the devastation of that move. The one thing that has bugged me about both nights of WrestleMania is the audience being dimmed out. I get that we're not trying to blind the fans with the big spotlights, but this is the first time in over a year that fans are attending WWE events. Yet we're not going to allow the viewers at home to see them? No offense, but that's kind of stupid.
Bobby Lashley. Oh, wait a second.
That was an awesome quick counter from Drew McIntyre while hanging upside down on the ropes. This was a great opening match for WrestleMania 37.
Underneath. Future shot to win the championship.
Drew McIntyre likely performed a second Future Shock DDT because the first one failed miserably the way Bobby landed from it.
Fans, he may have the champion.
I guess we can blame this on the audience not being present for over a year, but Drew has completely forgotten that counting down with the audience alerts his opponents that the Claymore kick is coming and gives them a chance to escape. What the hell was that noise? Is someone setting off firecrackers in the stadium?
Here comes the Claymore.
Wait a minute.
Out of all the ways Drew McIntyre could have cost himself the match, it had to be because he looked away at MVP for 1 second. Hell, MVP wasn't even on the apron or trying to get Drew's attention. He clearly yelled Bobby, and Drew gets distracted by that? Here are 5 sins for Drew's stupidity.
Drew McIntyre did not tap out.
Michael Cole was already trying to make up excuses for Drew McIntyre losing the match. Yes, Drew passed out instead of tapped out, but how was any of this controversial? That was a fair and square win, and it was Drew's own stupid fault for hesitating to look at MVP for no reason. Bayley and her annoying presence trying to do something for WrestleMania. This entire thing that goes on until the end of night 2 leads to her getting slapped up by the Bella Twins, making us question, what the fuck was WWE thinking? Gotta love Titus O'Neil. For years, wrestling fans have been making fun of Titus for being the guy always hanging out in catering. And tonight, Titus just laughs in their face by doing exactly that. When people bully you, embrace what they bully you for, because it means you're better than them. For Naomi's case, the glow is always fantastic. For Lana's case, it looks more like they made her boobs glow in the dark. I was debating for a while about whether or not I should censor it. Obviously, the stage ramp is slippery because of the rain that covered it, but given the fact that Lana jumped and danced in the same spot that Mandy Rose slips on before Mandy performed her entrance, I think the real cause of the slip was her clumsiness. All due respect to the fans in attendance, WWE really did not prepare for the COVID-19 restrictions. Fans must stay 6 feet apart, but it's apparently alright to clap hands with the wrestlers that pass by. They even delayed ticket sales to ensure they had the right level of restrictions.
By Snickers.
See you in Texas next year, Snickers. At least if there's not another lockdown that cancels it. See? Now nobody can give me the this sin did not age well treatment. Smart move on my part. Given Billie Kay is let go from WWE after this event, that made this team up with Carmella even more pointless than it already was. And how was Carmella impressed with Billie's resume?
Here we do. Lana and Naomi.
Lana and her extremely poor attempt at a spin-a-rooney. You didn't think I'd notice, did you?
Winner of the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal.
The what? Oh, right, that one match that existed solely so all women could appear on the match card and not be left out with no prize at the end of it.
Naomi to Carmella.
I just might have to throw in a double sin for that poorly executed kick that didn't even connect with Billie at all.
Big right hand.
Oh, come on. I know we're supposed to be excited for WrestleMania with fans in attendance, but there were a lot of crazy botches in this turmoil match that never needed to exist.
The longest tenured full-blown tag team in the women's division.
And as of right now, they're the only legitimate tag team in the women's division. At least on the main roster.
Bear Grylls practically.
You think that she's...
Ruby Riott just might be the first wrestler to get thrown over the top rope in the I'm gonna land on the ring apron from this sequence and actually fall to the floor instead.
Ruby Riott.
I'm surprised Ruby didn't fall to the floor from that.
Uh-oh.
Post-elimination assault.
To make a name for their...
Sure, I'm laughing because it was hilarious to see Mandy Rose fall on her ass, but I'm also questioning how that was possible, especially since several other teams entered with no problem walking, or in Lana's case, dancing down the ramp. Also, no disrespect, but what the hell is with Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke's outfits? That looks like something that came from the WWF stripper days in the Attitude Era. Did Mandy and Dana put on their swimsuits, go swimming at the beach, lose track of time, and decide to wrestle with their swimsuits because they had no time to change into actual wrestling gear? If one wears stripper-like outfits in a wrestling match, expect these sort of slips to happen. More reasons as to why these outfits are the worst thing for women to wear in the ring.
Down, is it enough to put man?
Mandy's shoulders are not even on the canvas, especially given the positioning of her head making it obvious. Yet the referee continues to count, likely because he doesn't want Dana Brooke to show off her nipples again.
Double team. Riot kick.
What a devastating Riot kick to the air.
Back and rope now.
Tagging yourself in by slapping your partner's ass. I'm starting to think these two are doing more than a tag team gimmick here.
The Riot Squad has been eliminated.
Greg Hamilton adds 10 sins to the counter for his embarrassing mistake. Likely because he was distracted by Dana's nipple hanging out. I guess we'll call him Botch Hamilton for the night. Here comes Tamina and yet another random tag team just so she can have TV time because WWE just doesn't seem to have anything for her. How has she not been involved in any of the spring cleaning releases at this point? I'm legitimately curious.
Fighting and fighting hard.
Liv Morgan hits a punch on Natalya that barely grazed her cheek, yet it was somehow powerful enough to knock her off the apron.
By Tamina and Natalya.
I have all the respect in the world for Natalya and Tamina. Congrats to them on the win, but let's be honest, you got a legitimate tag team in the Riot Squad, but we're giving the title opportunity to a team that didn't exist 3 weeks ago.
The 24/7 title.
That thing still exists? It's a great new theme song for Seth Rollins, but adding in a second Burn It Down 15 seconds after hearing the first one kind of takes away the cool beat.
Think you know Cesaro?
Discount Edge. Also, WWE being a dick to Seth Rollins by having the video package for his match played during his entrance instead of prior to his entrance. Previously on WWE.
Paris Rollins was the... Oh! Wow, that...
Even with all those corkscrew elbows and the amazing matches he puts on, it's still crazy that only now is Cesaro getting some sort of a singles push.
Cesaro, you might take the swing away.
Cesaro clearly missed Seth Rollins in that dropkick. My only assumption is Seth merely lost his balance on the ropes when he fell over.
High risk on a night where everything's slippery here.
Well, yeah, but not the ring itself, as the ring did not get hit by the rain at all. I think Michael Cole is still thinking about Mandy Rose's slip-up earlier.
He believes after all those years, Cesaro is just...
The referee gives Cesaro the 5 count and stops at 4, even despite the fact that Cesaro is still wailing away at Seth Rollins in the corner. Finish the count, you moron! Meanwhile, on this far side of the stadium. Also, holy crap, I can't even see the audience. Still bugs me that WWE made a big deal of having a limited capacity event but dimmed all the lights on the fans.
And Cesaro, neutralizer!
Amazing. Freaking amazing. Counter after counter right into the neutralizer made my jaw drop. This was a great match at WrestleMania without a doubt. And more proof that Cesaro should have been pushed long before this night.
I survived the swing!
Seth Rollins yells out, "I survived the swing," which in stupid dumbass language translates to "swing me again while I monologue like an idiot." It's a fun cultural language.
Then he calls this the UFO because he doesn't use it.
Let's take off 3 more sins because this scene was both impressive and funny as hell. I still question how Cesaro was able to do that.
23 swings!
For the record, Cesaro swung Seth around 19 times, not 23 times. With every time Seth passes the starting point of the first swing, it qualifies as 1 swing. But the fans are counting way too fast, which in turn confused Michael Cole. The SmackDown Tag Team Champions are being interviewed despite the fact that they are not competing in tonight's event or tomorrow's event. And none of the upcoming matches impact who faces them for their titles. So, skip! AJ Styles performs his signature taunt on the stage. Meanwhile, Omos thinks he's a member of D-Generation X. Better keep an eye on him just in case Triple H recruited him in the group. I don't know if AJ was pretending to fall to make fun of Mandy Rose or if he actually slipped. Honestly, it didn't even look like he slipped or lost his balance at all. The New Day are saying AJ Styles is too chicken to face him in the ring, when in reality they know they're screwed if Omos starts the match, and they at least want the match to last before losing.
AJ Styles!
Sure, it's a good thing for Kofi Kingston that Omos is on the apron instead of in the ring, but he should probably focus on his opponent. It's freaking AJ Styles!
Come on, get it, Kofi?
Twerking instead of taking advantage. By this point, the New Day deserves to lose this match if they keep that up. Look at this shot here. What is honestly stopping Omos from bending over and reaching AJ's hand? At this distance, he could easily tag himself in, yet he doesn't. AJ Styles believes that running around the ring like Braun Strowman will somehow make him capable of tagging in Omos without Kofi Kingston or Xavier Woods stopping him. That scream.
Just pancaked him!
Get it? Get the joke? AJ Styles got pancaked by Kofi Kingston? Man, I freaking hate myself.
To kick his way out.
Why doesn't Xavier jump off the top rope right here? AJ has his head turned away so he wouldn't see Xavier coming. The opportunity was right there. The final moments of this match were awesome. Unlike most people standing at 7'3", Omos had quite the athleticism added into the power, and AJ Styles hitting the phenomenal form from Omos' shoulders was a great addition.
Or when both feet hit the floor via pinfall or submission.
Wait, stop right there. Did I hear that correctly? Apparently another way to win a steel cage match is for both your feet to hit the floor via pinfall or submission. How the fuck does that work, Michael? Holy shit, double sin. I guess it wouldn't be a WrestleMania without Shane McMahon getting involved in some capacity. Already thinking about who will face next year. Also, the CGI graphics for the upcoming match between Shane McMahon and Braun Strowman are showing Hell in a Cell instead of a steel cage. You can tell because of the roof. Shane McMahon must have watched the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards and gave the idea to his father, who instantly laughed and granted him a WrestleMania feud. Since everyone would be calling this feud stupid, Shane chose to make the feud about Braun Strowman being stupid. That way, Vince could think the fans are just getting into the action.
We can celebrate our 10-year anniversary together.
Michael Cole reminding us that he is still undefeated at WrestleMania after defeating Jerry Lawler 10 years ago. That's always a sin, because fuck that match.
Make the brains.
Correction, this entire feud is a freaking pun. Brains versus Bronze. I hereby declare this the Wah-Wah match. Backstage, Edge looked at the screen and his eyes widened in anger because the technicians activated his smoke for Braun Strowman's entrance, which might explain why Edge's smoke isn't as big the following evening. Shane McMahon tries to keep Braun Strowman out of the cage before the match can begin, and yet he's the one calling somebody else stupid. Pre-match assault, and just like I said at the Fastlane sins, I'm amazed that Elias and Jackson Riker are helping out Shane McMahon after he basically fed them to Braun Strowman.
Get him again!
The annoying ass-kissing commentary of Jerry the King Lawler. I was excited to see him as a guest commentator for this match, but less than 30 seconds in, I completely regret my excitement. Easily breakable steel cage is easily breakable.
There are no disqualifications.
Commentator annoyingly reminds us of the rules as if we didn't already know them, cliche. I know this is the first steel cage match at WrestleMania since 1986, but it's not like there hasn't been a cage match since then.
Now, one of the ways you can win a steel cage match.
Braun Strowman could have easily tossed Shane McMahon in the air. Thanks to this camera angle, it looks more like Shane tossed himself in the air simply because he loves to fly in the sky. This scene doesn't really make a lot of sense. Elias and Jackson ascend the cage to assist Shane over, but the moment Shane reaches them, they climb back down without helping at all. Plus, Braun has taken too much time to get up and run, so we're just waiting around. Nothing is more irritating than seeing Shane in the perfect position to win the match, only to hang around not doing anything. I get that he's supposed to lose, but they're executing it very poorly. Shane McMahon falls to his death in a match cliche, and given his current age, he really should not be doing that anymore. I bet the cameramen are wondering in confusion if there's supposed to be pyrotechnics and fireworks exploding to celebrate Braun's victory. 2 hours and 30 minutes into this event, we have a random series of pyrotechnics exploding, for whatever reason. Skip! Boy, WWE are really running out of new locations to host WrestleMania these days, aren't they? You know, if they want to revisit stadiums, how about revisiting ones that haven't hosted WrestleMania for at least 10 years? Holy shit, looks like Adam Rose's bunny got busy ever since leaving the WWE all those years ago. Also, something that bugs me about this is why are some of these bunny costumes missing an ear? I couldn't have been the only one who noticed that, right? First of all, I'll remove a sin for The Miz and John Morrison's Hey Hey Hop Hop song because it's a freaking awesome song and you can't change my mind. But I'm putting that sin back because holy shit, this is some really bad lip syncing on the part of Miz and Morrison. It's bad enough that they're lip syncing, but they are also clearly off sync to their own song. Looks like Bad Bunny hijacked Becky Lynch's truck from WrestleMania 36, unless Becky herself is secretly driving it. Dun dun dun! Also, I'll give credit where credit is due. I admit I was skeptical of Bad Bunny competing at WrestleMania. He ended up being the best celebrity in-ring performer we've ever seen. We'll get to that later. In the meantime, remove 2 cents for this kick-ass entrance. Okay, seriously, who's making that noise? It's seriously distracting and annoying.
Early on, but we go back to the experience.
Bad Bunny was already starting to fall before The Miz could punch him. Sure, I could let it slide because it's his literal first match, but we don't do that here. Man, throughout the several months that Bad Bunny was hanging out in WWE, I constantly criticized them because the celebrity involvement at WrestleMania thing is the most annoying thing in the show's history. But I was forced to eat my words after watching moves like these. I was wrong. And most people wouldn't admit that. Copy Miz infringement. Oh. The other reason why Bad Bunny was the best celebrity in-ring performer is because WWE did not pull the cliche by having him hit a few moves and get the win for the team, while Damian Priest did a majority of the work. Not only did he perform nearly the whole match, but he took a hell of a beatdown. I respect him for this. Let's remove 5 more sins because it's deserved. Booker T may have not been a participant in the match, but one of Bad Bunny's songs is called Booker T, so the Booker right infringement sin qualifies.
And now Morris.
That suplex from Damian Priest to The Miz crashing into John Morrison would have been cool if John didn't realize he was in the wrong place and rushed to get in position. Well, holy shit! That Canadian Destroyer from Bad Bunny was perfectly executed and the most shocking part of the match. Let's throw away another 5 sins. That was so cool to watch. Hey, didn't we already see this like 2 hours ago? Also, nearly 4 minutes of showing recaps of what happened tonight as well as matches that are taking place tomorrow. The graphics for Bianca Belair's entrance say that she is the EST of NXT, despite the fact that she hasn't been on NXT for over a year. Plus, she's hyped herself as the EST of WWE altogether. While Sasha Banks is making her entrance, let's focus instead on this random fan's phone as he struggles to take a picture of the stage. Is it just me, or does the strap on the SmackDown Women's Championship belt look like Sasha is holding onto a toy version of the title instead of the actual belt?
Brought to you by Snickers.
That's like the 3rd or 4th time that Michael Cole advertised Snickers since this match was first announced 5 minutes ago. Maybe Michael is the one who needs a Snickers.
Down by Banks.
Sasha Banks is taking it easy on Bianca Belair and not taking her seriously because of the rookie insults. Early on, she's just asking to continue her losing streak at WrestleMania. While this was a fun match, a lot of the early moments is the only thing this feud could come up with in the build-up. The 2 women arguing back and forth that they are the best.
A fly with a suicide duck. Belair rolled through.
Bianca Belair did the one thing wrestlers should honestly do when they're watching their opponents the whole time. Bait them in, catch them, roll through, and use your power against them. E-S-T! Actually, you are wasting time.
And a reminder that tonight's main event is presented.
Okay, you know what? The constant advertising of Snickers 10 times per hour is going to add 10 more sins to the counter. The commentators really don't have anything else to say, do they? Also, literally 30 seconds of looking at this view of the stadium while a match is going on inside the ring. This is really irritating.
To main event WrestleMania.
Redder WrestleMania. Something tells me that would be an event hosted by Eva Marie and showing only the Monday Night Raw wrestlers. Boy, that'd be crap.
Thanks for the went for the meteor.
Michael Cole is really confused tonight, isn't he? Literally none of that looked like Sasha was going to hit the meteor on Bianca. That was clearly a frog splash attempt, which succeeded. Innovative to wrap Bianca's braid of hair around her own arm, but Sasha does realize that the referee would force her to break the hold due to her hair grabbing, right? Right? Monologuing is a villain's greatest weakness, Sasha, and it looks more like Sasha herself is the rookie, hence the rookie mistakes on her part. Looks like Bianca Belair attended Alexa Bliss's classes on how to throw Kylo Ren temper tantrums in the ring. Anyone else literally feel the pain of that whip? Upon watching, I instantly clutched my midsection. Hell of an attack by Bianca. And since her hair is attached to her, it's legal to utilize as a weapon, so it's fair. Michael Cole has completely ruined Bianca Belair's big victory by yelling out that Sasha Banks kicked out when she obviously did not. Here are another 5 cents at the counter. Also, haha, that guy right there nearly fell over the barricade in celebration. How funny would it have been if he accidentally fell over the barricade, then got tackled by security because he crossed the boundaries? Sorry, Michael, but there's no saving you from your big mistake. But here are 10 cents removed for Bianca Belair getting her big moment at WrestleMania by winning the SmackDown Women's Championship. WrestleMania has always been known for heartfelt moments.